Praise the Lord. I'm glad to be with you again. Yes, it's like family. We've become like family now.
Amen.
Last night I was here, and what a wonderful service. Yes, and I was saying to Pastor Cooper, I said, oh, I miss some of the faces. So you've really become like family. I missed some faces. And so this morning I saw someone say, I missed you last night. I missed you last night. God is a good God. Yes, He is. Amen. Amen. The last time, on the last occasion when I was here and I did the leadership training, anybody remember, what we talked about? Yeah. Come put your hands on this. My gifting is teaching, so this is teaching today. Put your hand. If anybody remember what we talked about? Somebody showed me a piece of paper. I want you from up here. What did we talk about? Come on, class.
Transformational leadership.
Transformational leadership. Yes, transformational leadership. Very good. And we talked about the 4 I's, didn't we? Yeah. I want somebody to give me, I want to hear the 4 I's we talked about. We're doing a little revision here. The 4 I's. What did we talk about? The 4 I's. Yes, we talk about it. Yes. Inspirational, motivation, intellectual stimulation. What else? Individual, yes, individual consideration. And the last one, I want to hear it from one side. Come on, this side now. You're cheating. This side. This side. What's the next? What's the final one? Idealize, influence. Come on. Yeah, we talked about that. Oh boy. And that was when I came the last time. On my arrival, I said, just find out from Pastor Cooper, what do you really wants me to do? And he said, Kathleen, leadership. I said, oh my gosh, I brought nothing up. So I had to spend my 2 or 3 days up in the room, just plucking my little brain out, trying to get something for you. And that's how we got transformational leadership. And so on this occasion, I was very bright, I called him just before I left, and I said, Pastor Cooper, what do you want me to do? Because I thought, I had time. No one was so rushed. And he said, leadership. I said, oh my gosh, not again. But that's to tell you the heart of the pastor. He really wants you to be disciplined. Yes. Because Jesus made disciples. And that's to tell you his heart. He's not just looking for people in ministry who will do whatever they think, but everything must be line upon line, precept upon precept. Yes? And so, an item of leadership has been occupying my mind, yes, for a little while now, and I'll tell you why. And the style that I'm looking at is called transitional leadership, or leadership in transition. Yes? And that's what we want to talk, yeah?
For people who weren't here last time, could you just go through those 4 one more time? I think it's so important.
Okay. She wants. Okay, let's get a bright one. The bright one was. Where's the bright one? The bright one. Come on, tell us. Tell the bright one. Tell us what we talked about. What we talked about the last time. Go ahead. And the bright one has a scripture.
Yes. So we talked about inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation,
4 I's,
idealized influence, and
she's writing sweet bag.
The second one?
Sorry, intellectual stimulation.
Those are the 4 I's we talked about as far as transformational leadership is concerned.
idealized influence,
Yes.
You got it for?
and individualized consideration.
It's an intellectual,
Stimulation.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
I got it now.
Intellectual stimulation.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love it. Right.
Thank you
I'm
so
sorry,
much.
the last one? Individualized consideration.
Amen.
Good, good. So we on board. We on board?
Amen.
Seatbelts buckled? Yes. Ready to go. Today, as I said, we do leadership transition. Yes, it has been an item that has been occupying my mind for a while. Minister Lincoln. Yeah, good. Right, there we go. And so there's a quote that says, every leader, whether senior executive or those sharing complementary authority, must address the subject of transitional leadership. Every leader, whether senior executive or those sharing complementary authority, must address the subject of transitional leadership. So it's not just for the head executive. What is transitional leadership? The process, yes, for identifying and developing, not just identifying. Well, this one can speak well. This one is very charismatic. I'll put this one in charge. But the process for identifying and developing new leaders who can replace the ones, yes, replace the older ones when the older ones either leave or move up. Very important. Very important. When the older ones, or those who have been there before, when they leave or move up. And I believe in movement. Movement.
Amen.
Yes. Movement is one of the signs of life. Yes. One of the signs of life. Yes. And so, transitional leadership is delicate, very delicate and complex. It evokes deep emotional fears and sometimes emotions and fears. It raises the question of legacy, mortality, which we'll deal with later on, and self-worth. Yes. But a great leader prepares for transition. A great leader prepares for transition. And I am repeating it again. A great leader prepares for transition.
Amen.
Did you get that?
Yes.
It's sinking. You sure? Let me hear what sunk in.
A great leader prepares for transition.
Let me hear it again.
A great leader prepares for transition.
A great leader prepares for transition. If you are that great, if you are that good, and my pastor, Dr. Alexander, would say, if you're gooder than the good, and some people are gooder than the good, you must prepare for a transition. If you are yes, we go back. If you are a great church school superintendent, you must prepare for transition. If you're a Sunday school teacher, a great teacher. Wow! You must prepare for transition. If you're a great youth leader, men's leader, the woman's leader, you must prepare for transition. Remember what we said just now? A great leader prepares for transition. If you're a great choir director, you must prepare for transition. Because you're great. If you're a great worship leader, you must prepare for transition.
Amen.
You don't have it all.
Yes.
If you're a great music director, great musician, you must prepare for transition.
Yeah.
Remember, you're great, eh?
Yes.
You must prepare for leadership transition. It is inevitable.
Yes.
It is inevitable. Because leadership has a tenure. Leadership has a tenure. And if it has a tenure, it means it must end. It will end. A tenure must have an ending. And so, you never move out. Anytime you move, you never move out. You keep moving. And you're moving up. So as you move up, you make room for the others.
Yeah.
But you must keep moving.
Yeah.
It's one of the signs of life. You know, when I was a little girl in primary school, I don't know what you call it here, but the, elementary school. Same thing. Elementary school. I remember learning the signs, the 6 signs of life. And I made a little acronym with it. It says GRIM. I remember that. I used to have to cram for tests, you know. So I remember that one. Remember, how many remember cramming for tests? Look at me, that. Oh. I crammed this one, and it did stay. The signs of life: growth, reproduction, irritability, movement. Remember now, nutrition, and excretion. Signs of life. I remember that. And so as you keep moving, one of the signs of life, yes, it shows that you're alive and that this thing has life in it. And so too often leaders delay or resist leadership transition. And I'm sure by now you're realizing that leadership transition is not just for the chief executive of the church.
That's right.
Or the top executive of the church, is for everybody.
Yes.
And so often leaders delay or resist leadership transition because they think they are that great. But what did he say? What did he say? If you are that great, you must prepare for transition. And so they prepare, they prefer not to deal with the issue because it points to their own mortality. But the opposite is true. If there's no movement, there is death. And so holding on to your own post really brings death. And so wherever you are, my encouragement to you is to invest all you have in the department in which God has called you, or to which God has called you. Invest all you have. I remember many, many years ago, as I began to mature, the church started asking me to do various things. I don't know what is people talking about. Bring a word here. But I used to listen to people bringing words. I wish I could do that. But they asked me to bring them. I said, oh my gosh, I'm taking this. I can't find the word. I don't know how to do the word. I said, you know what? I am going to have to educate myself. And that's how I ended up in Bible school.
Amen.
But you know God had a different plan, right? I didn't know that time He's going to make me the president of my own branch.
Amen.
That sounds like God. Yes, but it started with my desire to know how to function properly in the areas God called me. So invest all you have where you are. If you don't know how to do it, and go privately. You get the education. Educate yourself. That you can become the leader that God will not be ashamed of, but the others are ashamed of. Trying to show yourself approved. A workman that will not be ashamed.
Yes.
Rightly fighting the word of truth. Educate yourself. Be the best you can.
Yes.
But you also must know that great leaders prepare for transition.
Yes.
And so, as you move up, you enhance the kingdom to complete the Father's assignment. As you move up, you enhance the kingdom. Yes?
Yes.
To complete the Father's assignment for that particular department that you're involved in, or that particular ministry that you're involved in. You know, I look at leadership transition as a relay race.
Yes.
God has a goal at the finishing line. God has the goal. The finishing line is the goal. But it does not take you alone. That's how Father does it. It doesn't take you alone. So don't try to die in the position. It doesn't take you alone. It's a team. You might be the fastest and, as we like to say, the bestest. That's why they put you in front, the first one. Yeah, they give you the battle first. Because you got it. But you run a distance because you're that great. You run a distance, but you must pass the baton on. It's a team effort. So don't try to die at the beginning line. Don't try to die there because the team will not win. You've got to move as fast as you can. Be the best that you can. And pass the baton. Pass the baton. You've got to prepare. How are you going to pass it? Fast. This way. That's all we're going to do. And we deal with that. Preparing for transition later on. But it must be a team effort.
Yes. Amen.
If when you get there, you slow down. And you say, well, I want everybody to see, that I'm the best. Your team will not win.
Amen.
And the Bible, as our guidebook, provides a rich source of, transitional leadership. Information for transitional leadership. Found in Numbers 27:15-17. And I was like one of the bright ones. Well, one of the bright ones on this side. And this side have bright ones too, Only think only on this side when you have bright ones. This side have bright ones too. Let me get a bright one. Read for me. Numbers 27:15-17. Bright one. Bright one. Don't make the other side laugh at you, man. Where's the bright one? No. Bright one? Numbers 27:15-17.
Good morning.
Come on.
I'm going to try to do this style good right now. All right. All right, we're at Numbers 27, verses 15-17. Moses said to the Lord, may the Lord, the God who gives breath to all living things, appoint someone over this community to go out and come in before them, one who will lead them out and bring them in, so the Lord's people will not be like sheep without a shepherd.
Wow.
Yes. So the Bible does provide a rich source for us on transitional leadership. And right. And so we're looking at Moses. You know Moses, the icon.
Yes.
Almost seems irreplaceable. You know, some leaders are like that. Almost seem irreplaceable. This is the great Moses, the icon. Answers God's call to bring the Israelites out of Egypt. Moses. He's the one, yes, who challenged Pharaoh, the most powerful leader in the world. He rushed up to Pharaoh and he said, hey, that nonsense you're doing right now, stop it. The most powerful leader in the world. Sometimes when you approach some powerful leaders, you don't even want to look them in the eyes. But Moses said, this is it. God gave me an assignment and I'm going to take it with everything I got. He said, stop it, let my people go. And you notice what Moses said. You see, when you get into a leadership position, you must embrace the whole thing. Embrace the whole thing. He said, let my people go. He didn't say let God's people go. Well, let these people who you have there in slavery, so you better let them go. He said, let my people go. You must embrace the thing. Give it all that you have. Stop fussing and what is this they give me to do? This is so much and stop quarreling. Man, get in the thing with a passion. Let my people go. My people. Amen. He personalized this thing. Let my people go. He embraced it. He embraced the position. Let my people go. Challenged the most powerful leader in the world. You know Moses received the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. Yes? He was the brave one.
Yes.
You see, God's desire was really to make the children of Israel a kingdom of priests. But when they got to the mountain, you know, sometimes when we say, God, I need your presence, I want to be near you. And God comes. Sometimes we back off. When they got to the foot of the mountain and they saw God in all his glory, they heard the thunderings, and they saw the lightnings. They said, I didn't think this is God. I'm God. and sometimes God is answering our prayer. When we hear the shaking, some people when they hear the thunder, they run. You know, and the lightning, the flash of lightning, the peal of the thunder, they run and try to hide. But this was God. This was God. And they said, Moses, you see this thing? You alone go up there. This is too much. We're afraid. It's too much. But when you got a passion in your heart to fulfill God's purpose for your life, and the area missions call you, you'll do anything. Yes? Lightning, thunder, you're going.
Yes.
You're going.
Yes.
Amen. When God places you in a particular department and you begin to hear the thundering.
Yes.
And you see the lightnings. And the pastor calls for some sit-ins. Pray and fast. You see that? I think this thing calls for all that night. It calls for all that. Yes, it does. And so they say, Moses, you go. We will stay down here. And so instead of becoming a kingdom of priests, God had to make them a kingdom with priests. So you lose. You lose. You lose out.
Can you repeat that, Dr. James, please?
Yes, as I said, instead of God making them a kingdom of priests, He had to make them a kingdom with priests. And then go to the Leviticus and you get all the various stages of the priesthood. God had to institute. Yes, for his people. God means business when He chooses you. And so they said, Moses, you go. And so here comes the icon, Moses, the great Moses, speaking face to face with God. Panim. Face to face with God. Moses, you know Moses. But great Moses also had to prepare for transition.
Yes.
This great man, the founder of everything great for the Israelites, he had to prepare for transition. I did say to you earlier on that leadership has a tenure. Leadership has a tenure. And so making transition. Making transition or preparing for transition is crucial. It's crucial. There are times people hold on so much to a department that the department loses the giftings of the other people or other peoples. On a light note, I think of the Queen of England. I think we are going to miss Prince Charles's own charisma, own leadership. Because maybe by the time he comes on, he too is too old to lead anyway. He will have to get his grandson. Holding on too long. And so making transition preparation is crucial. Moses is the one. Great Moses, yeah? He initiates the succession plan. Yeah. It is Moses who recognizes his own mortality. He realized he's not going to live forever. And I don't know how long many of us would take to realize that. He's not going to live forever. And so he realized that he needed to find a successor to assure that the Israelites reach the promised land. And so there is a position, there's a goal that God has in mind for a particular department, a particular church, that you alone can't fulfill. The success of his life's mission depended on transition. He realized that he would not live long enough for the children of Israel to fulfill their purpose. And so he started to make preparation. A good leader, when we're talking about good leaders, a good leader knows that he or she does not have all the answers for the department to fulfill purpose and final destiny. And this leader should not cling to the reins of power, jealous of a young person taking over. Making transition preparation is crucial. Yes? And so Moses has to seek guidance from his most trusted advisor, God. And so Moses does not try to pick his successor alone. Yes, he turns to God. He listens for God's wisdom. Because it was Moses who did all the groundwork, the hard work. So you don't just hand over your child like that. The child that you conceived, the child that you delivered, and those of you who have children know the pain of delivery. A lot of pain, spilling of blood. So you don't just hand over your child like that. You've got to seek God's guidance. Yes. You've got to seek God's guidance. At the moment, in my church, I do quite a lot of things, and I am praying for God to send people that I can hand over some of the reins to. I do counseling, especially in the premarital area. And I'm praying, oh God, let there be a family that I can train. Remember, it's not just handing over. It's not just seeking on somebody, but it is training the person. That's what transitional leadership is about. Like when I leave, I know everything is all right. But the person must be trained. You're not looking for a charismatic person, but you can talk good. Even where I am at my Bible school as president, I've been there for the past 16 years. And I'm also praying, God, I need a leader. Yes. That I can train. I can see when my eyes are wide open. I feel comfortable. When I move, not out, but up. don't have all the answers. So Moses recognizes the importance of the task. Yes. As we read earlier on, he knew the people could not have been like a sheep without a shepherd. So he seeks input from his God. And when he did hear from God, he makes the decision crystal clear. Yes. To the people. And that's very important. When God reveals to you and you hand over the reins, you make the decision crystal clear to the department, to the people within the transitional leadership. And so Moses took Joshua and had him stand before Eleazar, the priest, and the whole assembly. Then he laid hands on him and ordained him. And my fast reader, Numbers 27, 22, 23. My fast reader, my sharp shooter. Yeah, man, this is your sword, you know. You spend so long. Man, this is your fast gun. The way you're going there, you get killed already, man. Where are you? Oh my goodness, you're dead already. Sharpshooter.
I was ready about 20 minutes ago, but the mic wasn't on.
Okay.
I was ready.
Okay, right. He's going to save you.
So we all have to be ready, amen?
Amen.
That'll work.
Numbers 27, 20, 23. Read for me.
What verse? 20
27.
chapter 27?
Chapter Numbers 27, 22.
22.
Uh-huh.
Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and had him stand before Eleazar, the priest, in the whole assembly. Then he laid his hands on him and commissioned him as the Lord instructed through Moses.
Mm-hmm. And so, you see what Moses did. He laid Joshua before the whole assembly. Everyone see whom God and Moses had designated. He didn't just go in secret and say, I want you to be in charge. And then allow the people to give him a hard time, hoping that he fails. And then they come back to Moses because he thinks he's all that great. They say, why you leave? We catching our skin here. This fella know what he's doing. So he feels his all right, you know, and a bag of chips. No. He made the decision clear, crystal clear to the people. And then he blesses him in front of the people. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. He didn't just hand over the reins or the keys to the cattle and leave. He lays his hands upon Joshua's head. He speaks words of commission into his ears and in his heart. He blesses him. And so a blessing beats any instruction manual, although instruction manuals are very important. Blessing means, as he blesses Joshua in the sight of the people, that he's given him a stamp of approval. A blessing whispers confidence in the heart of the new person. Yes, it conveys a trust that is deeper than more than a handshake. This is your new leader. Yes, he doesn't just say this is the man and hopes that he fails, so people would see his greatness. If that's the case, it says that you're not a great leader. The opposite is true. Yes. And so, transitional leadership defines destiny. Transitional leadership defines destiny. You know, many years ago, our church at Moment overflowed, really overflowed. And it overflowed, yes, it's banks. And then many of the members moved out because the families were growing, moved out into more distant areas. My family, my young family, my husband and I and my 2 kids, Roxanne is one. we moved a distance away from our church. And so when we tried to drive down, we used to have to sit outside And I don't even think they were, monitors were not in style at that time.
Yes.
They had to peep through the windows, to see, to hear something. If it's raining, you're too happy. You can't fall there. And so we decided to set another church for the time being, a smaller church, a little closer to home. We were helping out that church. I would call the name of the church, but it was a beautiful church, thriving church. There were 7 branches. And the main branch of that church was different. It was built with cabanas upstairs. And for people who wanted to pray and to fast. And what I liked about the minister is that he allowed anybody who was serious about God, who wanted to spend some time with God, whether you were a member of the church or a member of another church, or one of the pastors there, or a pastor from another church, he allowed you to stay in one of the cabanas to pray and fast. He didn't charge you anything. I thought it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spirit. The ministry was known for its giving. Yes, it's given to the poor and to the needy. And so, sometime after we left, because when our church was rebuilt or renovated, we moved back to our big church. And so sometime after, the leader died. And the ministry went with him. That's why I don't call the name of the church. The ministry died. His children rented out the building. Some of the buildings. Some were sold. And that was the end of sermon. No more ministry. I'm sure you, as I said that, I'm sure you can recall ministries that died. Yes. Thriving ministries. When you ask about it, say, oh, that church is no more. That building is now a civic building. It's no more. I'm sure you can recall various ministries, maybe from some previous church that you were in. Thriving. Very charismatic leader. But he's moved on, he died. Are you telling me they no longer have the choir? You tell me the choir is not going anymore. That church doesn't have a choir anymore. No. No preparation for transition.
Wow.
We can't do it alone. We must prepare for transition. And so, after talking about transition and preparation for a while, we want to get into the tenets of how to prepare for transition, how to plan for transition. 6 keys. And then we release you. Key number 1. Yeah? There must be a proper management system in place in the church and for your own department also. Proper management system. There should be policies for the church and for your own department. Policies as to the policy of the choir, for relating to the choir director, or the various music minister, or the men's department. Policies and procedures. This helps the church, prevents the church from getting into confusion, having policies and procedures. Because people would come with their own ideas as to how this is supposed to be done. and really break division. An organization must have one head. Anytime there are two heads, you have a monster. One head. And so to prevent all of this, first of all, I said there must be policies in place. One should have a policy and a procedure manual. This is how this is done here. I follow, especially when you, as I said, you're preparing for transition. Whether you're taking somebody from outside or from right inside, this is the procedure, policies and procedures. But before that, there must be a proper vision outlined. People must be able to see the vision. And the vision, may I say, cannot be changed. Huh? The vision of any church and the subordinate departments must be in sync. A massive vision, but there must be, as I said, the subordinate departments must follow that vision. And they follow the vision through the mission. So the department really is we be looked at as the legs for the vision.
Yes.
You can't have a vision for your department. You follow the mission. Because the mission relates to the legs of the vision. The chief executive and his board, they have the vision intact, which the labor will go and pray. You carry out the mission. And so there should be an org chart or organizational chart, yes, where everybody can see exactly what's happening, where I am, what I must do. That's why I talk about policies and procedures. So people don't come in from outside with their own ideas. This is how we did it then. I couldn't get it done there. But this church seems to be a nice, easy church, so I can get it done here.
Wow.
That's confusion. You follow the vision.
Amen.
Yes. This particular church. God wrote everything down for us, you know.
Yes.
I'm giving you all things that pertain to life and godliness. Everything must be done in decency and in order. So I'm following. My department really relates to the legs of the vision of the church, and I follow. Yes? Big chart. And so there must be a departmental chart. Here's where we fit it. This is my little niche. This is what we do. But God is using your flavor to get the mission out. Yes? Everybody's not the same. That's why you move out for God to put somebody else in. So that the vision, the mission that relates to the vision will be completed. You are not that great. You are great. But you must move. Yeah, so number one, there must be a proper management system in place. Very important. Very important. And if you feel comfortable when you get into your own department, because you're not, hoping that what I do is right. You know what you're doing is right because you're following, you're seeing where you're going. Yes? Amen. Key number two. Yes, number two. You must ask the right questions. Extended planning phase, yes. Right questions must be asked in order that the plan, for the plan to be executed. Right questions must be asked. So I know that I'm in charge of this department, yes, but who will choose the next leader? Must I come up one Monday morning and tell the pastor, I chose Brother John to be the next men's leader? Who will choose? Questions must be asked. That's why we talk about policies and procedures. Who will choose the next leader? The pastor will choose, or the complimentary officer, and recommend to the pastor. How are things going to be done around here? Now I come in here and I bring my friend with me. And so he was great over there. So therefore, he's going to be my second man. How are things going to be done? And the time frame. Do we give the leader of the department, or do we give leaders of the department a tenure, no more than 2 consecutive terms? How are things going to be done? 5 to 10 years, and after you are in position for 10 years, you begin to think about moving. In 10 years, you begin to think about moving, and you begin to seek somebody in sync with the rules and regulations, or the policies and procedures. How are things going to be done? And we're getting ready to move. Pastor, if it's the pastor who chooses, then pastor, I think we need to consider looking for a transitional leader. Or you choose, I don't know, but it must be written down. And you're moving up, you're not moving out, but you're moving up to be the elder in the church. You're the elder now. And you might just be in charge, or not necessarily in charge, rather. You have oversight over that department that you just left. Just oversight. An elder. So there must be a place for you to move into. Just get up and you move out. You move up and where am I going anyway? So I ain't going. Right? Any more chairs? 5 of us are waiting 3 chairs. I say right now. As soon as one chair sting here, I don't fall on the ground. I'm trying to use music and tell you, help somebody out. Chairs must be there for me to sit on. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? Proper organization. Because I am not moving out, brother. I am moving out. You're going to find a chair for me to sit on. I'm good one too. And I have oversight. And we deal with that later on. Yes? There must be some policy as to how you honor this departing, or this moving leader. How are you going to honor him or honor her? When you're going to have a big celebration at the end of the period, what are you going to do? So there must be extended planning. And this brings, when you do things like that, you bring stability to the church. Everybody's anxious. Everybody's praying and fasting for the growth of that particular ministry. Because you're looking forward to move up. And it's not forward, it's growth. It's growth. You're looking forward to move up. The others are below you, they're looking forward to move up.
Yes.
You're looking forward to move up. You see, movement is not bad. It's not bad, it's not out, but it's up. And we must be challenged enough to move up. If you stay there, the organization or the particular department becomes stagnant. You must be ready to move. Number 3, must have the right person. The right person. Yeah. The right person, or the person must have incredibly high trust with the leader. So you're not going to just pick up any wishy-washy person. We could talk good. Oh, she's very good looking, good father. Much more than that, sweet. The person must be a person of high emotional intelligence. The person must be patient. Patient. Oh, I'm to you. I hear the beginning next year. What's going on? And you try now to undermine your leader. That doesn't work. Person must be patient. The planning questions cannot be rushed. So long you're there. How do you when you go for the next church? You got promotion yet? You still require director? Don't die in the spot. But it's according to your policies. If you're the one who are supposed to choose and train, then do that. If it's the pastor, then you reach to the pastor.
Yeah.
Say, Pastor, I think I've reached the end and I need to begin to train somebody. It must be laid out so there's no confusion.
Yeah.
You don't rush and say, Pastor, Sister J was a good choir director in X church. I think we need to, I move it up, but I think we need to have It's a new culture you're getting into there, right? But it's what your leadership
That's
says.
Yeah.
And so, let's look at Joshua. Let's look at Joshua, the characteristics of Joshua. It will help you when you begin to look at a new leader. Joshua was the only one waiting for Moses patiently at the foot of Mount Sinai. Very patiently waiting. And Moses took him halfway. He said, you stay here, I go further. Yeah? He waited on Moses. So, it must be somebody who is very patient to wait on you. Wait on the process. Wait on the process. Wait on the process. So Joshua was waiting on Moses. Joshua was one who did not rebel against Moses. Yes? When Moses said he had to take the promised land, Joshua said, he was one of those who said, yeah, we're going over. And so, he was one of, as you know, one of the spies. And so when, in other words, he was always ready to follow the leader. And so when things appear to have been going wrong or insurmountable, Joshua stayed steadfast. And when potential alternative appeared to challenge Moses' leadership, you see Joshua rushing, or passionately rushing to Moses' defense. You remember the 12 spies when they returned? And them said, we are going to, we see men a million times our size. Daunting report. They said, we're not able. We're not able. But Joshua was one of those, one of the two on the side of Moses. So this person you're choosing must always be ready to assist you positively. Joshua was one on the side of Moses, and in Numbers 14 he said, Moses, we are able. We are able. And the pastor said, you know, we want to move on from here and go and buy this $3 million bill. He said, The person who is next to him, who is chosen, must be able to say, yeah, we are going. I'm with you, Pastor. I'm with you. I'm with you. The mathematics doesn't sound right. Because 10 said no. But I'm with you, Pastor. I'm with you, leader. I'm with you. If you are following the vision of the church, if our department is supposed to follow the vision of the church, and the pastor says we're going to have street meetings or whatever, and I say, what? In that area? I say, I'm with you. And that's the person you're looking for, who will replace you. Joshua realized his own capabilities, but retains clear perspective where others are more capable. He appreciated the greatness. Remember we talked about the greatness of Moses, that icon. And he subordinated himself to learn from this great leader. And so he completely attached himself to Moses. Yes, never leaving Moses' side. That's the person you're looking for. Joshua wanted to hang around the place where God had shown up. Exodus 33 and 11 tells how even after Moses finishes encounters with the Lord, Joshua the son of Nun, did not leave his tent. And so, reading from the Torah, it says, Joshua rather, Moses' aide, a youth, did not leave the tent. He was always there with Moses. Although as yet he didn't perform any great task, but he was there. Joshua made his priority to draw close to God and absorb the Jewish wisdom. Joshua was filled in Deuteronomy 34:9, filled with the spirit of wisdom. That's what you're looking for, huh? The Talmud said that Joshua came to the synagogue early in the morning to help set up the chairs. And so a very humble person, very humble acts of dedication are what God values most, even more than some dramatic aerial bravery and heroism. And so Joshua is the choice, as far as Moses is concerned, to lead the people to the next level. Moses was satisfied, will take the laws that Moses received from the Lord and apply them to the new and different generation and different situation. And even as Moses himself would have done, very dedicated. We've read the scriptures already. It says that when Moses prayed, and God will answer your prayer. No, he will answer your prayer. Your department will not die if you're a great leader. And so Moses prayed, may God of the spirits of all flesh, we read earlier on, appoint a person over the congregation. That's Numbers 27:16-17. Numbers 27:16-17. Moses is praying, appoint a person over the congregation who will go out before them and come in before them. Not somebody who would sit in the office all the time. And who would lead them out and bring them in again. And let God's congregation not be like sheep without a shepherd. You see Moses' passion, huh? That's his baby. And so just as Moses was chosen to be the leader because of his care, remember Moses was a shepherd, caring for the individual sheep in his flock. So too his successor, yes, so too should his successor reflect that ideal. As I said, Moses was looking for somebody who would sit in the office and direct the minions out there. But he was able to go out. He wanted somebody who would go out in the field, looking for an active, hands-on leader. Yes. Characteristics to look for in your successor. And so there must be, I think I mentioned this earlier, in number 4, the plan must outline how internal and external candidates should be considered. All that's in your policy and procedures manual that you should have a copy of in your own department. This is how we do things. So you don't have to ask a question or say, well, I didn't know. Do it. Are you going to consider the internal candidates first? Are you going to advertise? How are you going to do this thing? Everything must be done in decency and in order. As I said, when you have things written down, it creates excitement internally for potential candidates. There's a growing church. There's a great growing church. And so, remember we talked about transitional leadership. Chosen and tested. Where's my number 5? Very slow, maybe didn't have breakfast. You must now test and mentor the chosen leader. Now test and mentor the chosen leader. Yes? And so by the time, in the next, maybe for this church, in the next 10 or 15 years, there must be a generational flux of leaders who should be tested and mentored. So you don't just stay there and, oh, I'm the best choir director, stay there. I'm the bestest of the best. But there should be a number of people, persons there who would have been tested and now being mentored. But we did see some of the characteristics of the mentees earlier on. And so the leader must be prepared to mentor and look after the mentees. Let's do some characteristics. So that mentor or the leader must look after the career-enhancing needs of the mentee. One is coaching. Yes? Teaching the ropes. Because I know you did it then. That's how we do it here. Teaching the ropes and giving relative, negative and positive feedback. When it's done well, oh, great hand of applause. When you didn't do it well, you must be willing to take the feedback so that you can improve the mentee's performance and potential. So you see why you're looking for a very humble person, very patient. Yeah? You also must coaching, exposing, yes. There must also be exposure, yes. Creating, also give exposure to your mentee. Create opportunities for the mentee to demonstrate competence while you are there. You've chosen this person, but as a choir director, but you never even give the person a chance to lead the choir. You're so great. So you coach, but you expose the person so that you can give feedback. You can give feedback. There's a 4/4 piece of music, but the person is given direction for 3/4. Oh, you want it off. You confuse the choir. But you must be willing enough to take correction. That's why you're looking for a certain type of person. Create opportunities for the mentee, yes, to demonstrate competence where it counts. Taking the mentee to important meetings that will enhance his or her visibility. So you let people know this is the next leader. Moses took his young friend along to important meetings, as we heard earlier on, up on the mountain. Both of them met with God in a dramatic fashion. You must be willing, as you expose, to expose yourself as a mentor, willing to talk about your own call to the ministry and some of the things you struggled with in your valley experiences. You must be able to open up to this person so the person will know, yeah, there are valley experiences, but this is how my mentor handled it, and so I can handle those things also. At least twice, Moses helped Joshua adjust his perspective. At the start of remember the golden calf incident? Joshua mistakenly called the noise the sound of war or victory. Exodus 32 and 17. He was thinking maybe in the context of being the great general. But Moses had to say to him, who had been on the mountain with God and who had the stone in his hand, Moses had to say, this is not it. This is not it. Moses discerned it was not it. This was the song of confusion, of singing. And when you know when Moses came down from the mount, and he had to just, he was so confused, he bring the tablets, because there was confusion in the camp. They had built the calf, the golden calf. But Joshua at the time said, no, it's a song of victory. Maybe they thought we are coming, and they all clapping and singing. And Moses said, this is trouble. And on another occasion, in Numbers 11:28, when the Spirit came on two unlikely people, Moses had to stop Joshua. And because Joshua said, Moses, stop them from prophesying. But Moses saw the greater picture. And Moses said, I wish all men, I wish that all of them, all of God's people were prophets. So you see how you have to, what a mentoring comes in. Yes? A mentoring comes in. And you must also sponsor. You need with sponsorship, sponsor this young person that you're mentoring. Open doors for the person. Have connections that will support the mentee's advancement. You may have been at one level, but the world is changing. You don't want to put your mentee in a position where the mentee can't function. You need to go to the leadership and say, pastor or elder, you know, we have, according to your own rules and regulations, we have chosen this person, not that you have, but it is, you know, the consensus of the board. But this person needs to be educated in the area a little more than I have been. Amen. So the person can be better than I was. Yes. Did I say that? Did I say that? If I was great, he must be greater. And so, Pastor, I think we need to have some in-service training. Like your pastor is having now. In-service training. Or out-service training. Well, Pastor, I think this person needs to go on a course. You know, this youth leader that we have chosen. I looked up where some church or some place is offering course on youth leadership. It's costing such and such and such. Is it possible we can consider sending this person to do the course? Yeah. So again, you see the type of person you're choosing, right? The person must not be a good charismatic person, you know, talk loud. Yeah. Person seems to be some kind of authority. But the youth leader, not just using the youth leader as an example, the youth leader must be must know the developmental needs of the youth.
Yes.
Come on, you're going to minister. You must minister to need. You must minister to need, to the need of the youths. So the youths, the youth department does not need the same, or doesn't have the same need as the men's department. So I must know how to minister to youth. I must know the needs of the youth. What are the needs of the youth? And when I know the needs, I will minister to the needs. If I'm head of the men's department, I must know the needs of the men in this age, from this bracket to that bracket. I must minister to them at that level. Not every time you come out, we have a prayer meeting, you know. You have a clue. But they just had a prayer meeting last night. How much prayer will pray? The Spirit. What about my social life? I need help there. I need help with my marriage. What are the needs? You must know the needs, the developmental needs of that particular department, so you can minister to those needs, not just anybody. So, if the chief executive, the pastor, said, well, we don't really have the money right now. Are you willing to put out some? Huh? Your own money. You're investing. That's your department. That's your baby.
Yes.
You don't give it away just so. Invest in the person. As you would have invested in yourself. Yes?
Yes.
Mentoring. And then you challenge. Challenge. There must be challenge. Yes, challenge. I must challenge the person. Delegating assignments to stretch the mentee's knowledge. Yes. Challenge. Stretch the mentee's knowledge and skills in order to stimulate growth and preparation to move ahead. Yeah, you can do it. Go ahead and do it. You know, Sister Jones, they asked me in the General Assembly, in a conference, to take the men's section. But I don't know how to do it. Yes, you can do it. I'll help you. I'll help you. Challenge. To stretch the person. To stretch the person.
Yes.
Yes. You can do that. Challenge the person.
Yes.
You must offer challenge. And then not only the career enhancing needs you must attend to, but psychosocial needs. You must be a good role model. Good role modeling. By demonstrating valued behavior, attitudes, and skills that aid the mentee in achieving competence. They must be able to look at you. It's not what I say so much, but what I do. I must be a good role model. Yeah? So I must, through me, the mentee must be able to demonstrate competence, confidence, and clear professional identity. That shows my greatness. When my mentee shows all that.
Yes.
Confidence and clear professional identity. That's the person I chose. Isn't that good? You're a great leader. You're a great leader. You must be able to counsel the person. Counseling.
Yes.
Counseling. You must be able to provide a helpful and confidential forum for exploring personal and professional dilemmas and exhibiting confidence, trust, and rapport, and enable both individuals to address central developmental concerns. The person should be able to come to you with their own developmental concerns, and you pray that person through. Remember, I say you pray the person through. I said you pray the person, not you and another departmental leader. You are the top. It's you. You alone.
Amen.
And God.
Amen.
So that the mentee can feel confident, to come to you and say, I'm going to my mentor. And I know it stays there.
Yes.
It doesn't end up in the last row of the ladies' department. Everybody knows. I'll pray for Sister Jenny because, hello? You're not a mentor, you're a menace. I don't want to be your mentee. If I wanted the whole department to know, I will come and stand up and tell them myself. You're a clown. I must feel confident to come to confidence, feel great confidence to come to you. I can talk to you as my mentor. We need mentors these days. We need mentors.
Wow.
So I must be attend these psychosocial needs of my mentee. I must show acceptance and confirmation. Yeah. Acceptance and give acceptance and confirmation. There are people who are growing up these days, especially in the absentee father's home, and they're not accepted or confirmed.
Yes.
And so you as a mentor must show acceptance and confirmation for these people. By providing ongoing support, respect, and admiration.
Yes, yes.
You did good. I admire the way you sang, and when you took that high note. Yeah, respect and admiration, which strengthens self-confidence and self-image of your mentee.
Yes.
Attend to the psychosocial needs of your mentee. And then B, I put friend. Friend. Friendship. And I forgot to put covenantship there, because friendship is really covenantship. You know, we in these parts of the world, we don't understand the covenant or friendship. Friendship is really covenantship. When I shake your hand as a brother, when I shake your hand as a sister, I am renewing covenant. What happens? The blood passes through my pores and touches your pores, and we connect. And I'm renewing my covenantship with you.
Yes.
Blood is not necessarily red, you know that. But when I touch you, your blood touches my blood. I renew my covenantship with you.
Yes.
That's why the Bible talks about our taking the communion. Exhibit mutual caring and intimacy that extends beyond the requirement of the daily work and task, and the sharing of experiences outside the immediate work setting. And I am in covenantship with you. And I must attend to your spiritual enhancing needs. Yes. You are the first one on my list. Give the spiritual well-being and success of the person. The person can come to, I must prepare for prayer retreats in my own home. Midnight to morning. Yes. Sitting we call it. I don't know if you'll do anything like that here, but you can have some sit-ins with the person. Midnight to morning, in my living room, we sit in and we pray through. I'm praying you through that you'll be a greater leader. Then Jesus said, greater work shall you do because I do. We forget that, right? Wants you to be greater. I want you to be greater because I have the end, the final perspective of this department in view. We must win. Our team must win. The B team must not win. The A team must win. I will do everything in my power. I'm coming to a quick close. My final key. Legacy. Legacy. The leader must be challenged to leave, if you're a good leader, a good legacy. Yes? A good legacy. Is the leader going to die someday? Of course. What legacy are you leaving? That you're the greatest and nobody can be as great as you? Then you are not a great leader.
Amen.
Do you plan to lead until you die? No. That causes confusion at your passing and church split. Every leader must know that the greatest legacy is how the organization or the department is going to be led after he moves up. And if you die, you're still moving up. You're going to glory, right? It must be clear. This leader must be clear of his own legacy and the elements of his vision that are critical to the organization or the department going forward. Going forward. At what stage when I leave or when I move up? That's what we talked earlier on about the mission. At what stage in the mission are we? Where are we? Number 5, we have 25 to go. At what stage? When I leave, at what stage? We've completed this. Therefore, you are at this stage, John, Pastor John, Minister John, you are this stage. And you must take it on to the other stage. As I said earlier on, how many periods or areas or times, but must one stay, how long one must stay, whether it's 5 to 10 years. You must stick it to the next 5 years. It is what is in the policy and procedure. And at that stage, you must be at this point, because you have it all marked out. Yes? So you put on the stage, you're going to take it from there to there for this department. Where are you on the mission chart? Where are you on the mission chart? You must be able to point out, this is what we have done so far. Do a nice recap. And this is where we are going. Don't helter-skelter thing. This is not going and buying ice cream every time you come. I can buy ice cream for myself. I don't need to buy ice cream for me. I can't travel from so far to come here and give me ice cream. What are my needs? What are the needs of the department? You must be able to fulfill your mission. The leader must have more enthusiasm, as I said, because he can, and so the leader who is leaving must have more enthusiasm, will have more enthusiasm, as he can see another stage being completed. He's seeing the finish line. Remember we talked about the relay. You're the fast, they put the fastest one up first. Yeah? And then you get the others who should be as fast. But what stage are we passing the baton? And so, as I said, we deal with legacy. Discuss with your current team where you are. Engage them in owning. Encourage them to own the principles. Remember what Moses said? Let my people go. He embraced the whole thing. Yes. Engage them in owning the principles and shaping the long-term picture for the future. Must be somebody who's as passionate or more passionate than you. Talk with the incoming leader. Talk with the incoming leader about his or her own agenda and how you can help position the agenda to increase, yes, receptivity. Create a strong connection between the new leader and the other members, including the executives. You bring all the connection together. If you are this church is a part of another assembly or so overseeing, and you may be on a particular board and this person is taking your lead, then you make all the connections. That kind of thing. You work hard to help the member be accepted with all other leaders. You complete the official transfer of power to the new leader in a visible, like Moses did, we're recapping here, in a positive way. Yeah? In a positive, visible way. Everybody knows. They know you're backing. You're backing the leader. Yeah?
Yes.
If you're remaining in the organization, be prepared to advise the new leader for a very short period. You're just advisor. Don't impose, but remain available and supportive. Yes? And when the time is right, you move on, regardless of how emotionally difficult it may be. You let go. Let it go. Yes, you found it. When you came here, there was no ladies department. You found it. You conceived it. You had only morning sickness. Yes. You delivered it. You spilled blood and water. Others were there. When they cut the cord. Some of you remembering, right? Oh, the pain. It's going to be emotionally difficult. Go
Yes.
and don't come back.
Oh, God.
Yes? Yes. Yes. Don't ask, don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Your transition is completed. You're a great leader. Yes. The transition is completed. You're a great leader. You've done it well. Leadership has a tenure. Leadership has a tenure. Yes? Leadership has a tenure. Leadership has a tenure. Jesus was a transitional leader. And so, what we're talking here is not strange. Yes? In Mark 3:13-19, my sharpshooter. Who's my sharpshooter? Come on! Look at me, my sharpshooter. And we are closing now. Mark 3:13-19. Jesus as transitional leader. Oh, God.
I just
We're
wanted
gonna
to
sing
make sure everyone else was ready. That's all.
All right, okay. Let's hear it. Mark 3:13-19. Yes.
3:13-19. Jesus went up on a mountainside and called to him those he wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12, that they might be with him, and that he might send them out to preach and to have authority to drive out demons. These are the 12 he appointed. Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter. James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. To them he gave the names Boanerges, which means son of thunder. Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him.
So, Jesus planned for transition. He had a mandate, 13 verses 13-14. He had a mission, 14b-15. He must preach, teach, heal, deliver. The mission. He had the men. Yes? He had the men. 16-19. He had men. So he prepared to leave. The mandate, the mission, and the men. He had an inner circle of 3. Spiritual family. Yes? 12. A team of 72. A network of 120.
Beautiful.
And he healed the multitudes to go and tell. Yes? Jesus prepared. The greatest leader prepared for transition. Transitional leadership.
Yes.
We must follow. We must go and do likewise.
Yes.
So, thanks for your attention. Congratulations. And so we just want to close by just singing this little chorus. It says, I'm looking over here, God, I'm available. If you can use anything, I'm here. Wherever you want to use me in the church, I'm available. I'm going to embrace it with passion. I'm not going to be fretting even when it becomes a little onerous. I know I can do all things through Christ. If I'm chosen, I have more than the characteristics that Moses had. God, if you can use anything, it's for your kingdom, you know, the enhancement of your kingdom.
Zion, woman of God. Yes. We are blessed beyond measure to have such a chosen vessel from God to come our way, to make such a heavy deposit in us this morning.